Hey Bears, Eric here, and in this video, we have to talk about this unhinged situation with Richard Dreyfuss. I could not believe this. We actually have a clip we're going to look at, so you don't want to go anywhere. You want to hang out till we get to that clip, because I'm going to give you guys the backstory on all of this drama that's happening. This is absolutely wild. Now, Richard Dreyfuss is a 76-year-old actor. Some of you may not be familiar with him, but me personally, being an older guy, I used to love Richard Dreyfuss films. Mr. Holland's Opus was one of my favorite movies of all time. And then he went out of pocket, a while back and started talking about actors wearing blackface. And I knew it was over. I knew it was over at that point. I'm like, nope, this guy's done. I can't. This is crazy to me. And now it's even more wild because he's going for the bigoted lottery, basically the trifecta. He's doing misogyny, homophobia, and transphobia all at the same time. And this happened at a Jaws themed event in Beverly, Massachusetts. Now, this article is a pretty long article. We're going to skip through to the important parts, and then we're going to watch that clip. However, if you go on to enjoy this video and you want to be part of the family over here, you can join the revolution, hit subscribe, leave a like, and leave a comment down below. Let's jump into what actually happened. It says here the 76-year-old actor showed up at a Jaws-themed event in Beverly, Massachusetts, where the blockbuster 1975 movie he starred in was shot, and proceeded to make demeaning remarks about women, LGBTQ plus people, and diversity. At one point, an audience member attempted to remind Dreyfuss of his fans who had come to see him, yelling out, "We love you," this is a general statement. People love their actors. They love their favorite singers. They love celebrities. And Dreyfuss, according to one attendee, responded, "Do you love me? Do I love you? Are you gay?" And then Dreyfuss yelled back, "Don't be gay." So right away, we're seeing what the situation was. There's a picture here. This is Richard Dreyfuss wearing what looks to be like his favorite Mrs. Doubtfire look here on stage. This is wild to me. There's an actual video clip. Again, we'll get to that in just a moment, but let's talk about some more details here. An attendee at the question and answer session in Massachusetts over Memorial Day weekend told Daily Mail the Oscar winner kept going with homophobic and racist comments during his appearance. He started the night out coming out in a dress, dancing to Taylor Swift, saying that it was an LGBTQ moment. I assumed he was horsing around. Later, a staff member told me he was walking around town for a couple of hours picking one out. I'm telling you guys, these extreme anti-trans, anti-gay mindsets drive people to do some of the wildest things. Why was this 76-year-old man feeling so spiteful that he had to walk around for a couple of hours trying to pick out a dress to come on stage just to make fun of a bunch of people that he doesn't agree with? Carey said that the show then got back on the rails with Dreyfuss discussing his role in another Spielberg classic, 1978's Close Encounters of the Third Time. From there, however, Carey said Dreyfuss went off targeting his Nuts co-star Barbara Streisand. He began to say a lot of sexist things about her, about all women. They're stupid, they shouldn't have any power, etc. He continued. Other accounts say that Dreyfuss accused women of being passive, which is why the 1987 film Nuts sucked. Another member of the crowd said Dreyfuss said that society shouldn't be listening to some 10-year-old who says they want to be a boy instead of a girl. Carey said the atmosphere in the theater quickly soured, with many booing the star and some walking out. Now, don't turn into an angry mob, Dreyfuss told the crowd. Look, it's one thing to have these beliefs, to hold these feelings, to hold these thoughts. It's another thing for people to show up for a Q&A about Jaws and some of his general acting endeavors over the years, for him to turn it into some sort of platform for all of this rhetoric. He had absolutely no reason to do any of this at all. It was completely unnecessary. And I'm pretty sure, as I'm scrolling through social media, the people who usually tell celebrities and athletes to just shut up and do their job seem to be applauding him for saying all of this because it aligns with their beliefs. Now, of course, I agree everyone has free speech and you can do whatever you want, but there is accountability that comes with free speech. You're going to have to deal with the social ramifications of the things that you say and do. That's completely different from telling someone they cannot or should not say something because you don't agree with them. However, a lot of the people that are applauding Richard Dreyfuss are the same people who have told actors to shut up, the same people that have told Alan Ritchson he shouldn't talk about things, the same people that have yelled and screamed Brie Larson and any other actress who has said things about their personal feelings on any subject matter over the years. There's a clear hypocrisy there. This was not, in my opinion, the time or place for any of this to be said, but that is just my opinion. Let's take a look at the video and then discuss this. This is a small clip that shows Dreyfuss coming out on stage and the way he was acting and presenting himself before we got into this Q&A situation. Now, I cannot play the music. It is a Taylor Swift song. I'm not going to play that, but we are going to watch the clip and I'm going to talk a bit about it. So here we see him coming out wearing what looks like some grandmother's dress, turning around, shaking his ass, doing all this weird stuff. What licking his finger, sucking on his finger. What relevance does this have to anything that was going on in this situation? He probably knew ahead of time what he was going to be talking about, the subject matter of him being there, and he decides to come out and do all of this. We have people coming out from the side of the stage to help him get undressed and get out of this so he can get dressed with his jacket and stuff that's sitting there. So all this was planned out in advance. He already knew all this was going to happen. And this is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, what purpose did this serve under these circumstances? Absolutely nothing. I stand by the fact that I truly believe that if any of these celebrities had social media back during their heydays, at the prime of their careers, things would be very, very different than they are now. We would not look at them the same way we did. I truly believe that these actors from back in the day would have been doing the same thing if they had the same kinds of platforms. And I talked about this with Low Watermark during one of my live streams, and he says you can go back and look at interviews with some of these actors and see the cracks in the foundation and the stuff they said in some of their interviews with red carpets and different people on TV at the time. But I truly believe it would be a different landscape. And I hate to see it because Richard Dreyfuss was one of my favorite actors from this period, but he's just become so outrageously bigoted in recent times. I do not see him the same way. And it's very unfortunate. If you're one of those people out there who says that actors and athletes and singers and anybody involved in entertainment should keep their mouth shut and just do their jobs, but you're cheering on this kind of stuff, you're cheering him on, you're cheering on these MMA fighters who are talking about their kids getting homeschooled, you're cheering on football players saying that women should stay in the kitchen, then that means you are a hypocrite. And you have to live with that. You have to deal with that. That's something that you have to understand. I want to reiterate, none of this was necessary. And now the theaters had to reach out and apologize to all the people who were there and have had to offer people free tickets, things like that, because this looks really, really bad for them. This sucks because I did like Richard Dreyfuss, but he's just pushed it way too far recently. Very sad as a fan of his work. Let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below.